Good evening, investors, traders, day traders, short sellers, angel investors. I don't know what you are, but as long as you're in the market, good evening. Anyways, in this video, we're going to be talking, and just to remind you, I'm not a financial advisor, and everyone should be aware of that. But anyways, in this video, we are talking about how the SOLO is free. You know, you'd be like, what? It's free? You're crazy. No, it kind of is free in a sense. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It might help my channel grow. It might not, but everyone asked for it, so I might as well too. Anyway, so let's talk about the SOLO. SOLO obviously is a low maintenance car. So if you bought a non-electric car, you would have to pay for maintenance. You would have to pay for oil changes and, you know, problems that come up in the future. But since the SOLO has very few parts in it, your SOLO has 99% fewer parts than a combustion engine, which means significant fewer opportunities for things to go wrong, spending more time getting where you want to be, and less time dealing with unexpected maintenance like oil changes. You don't need to do an oil change on that, so you're saving a little bit of money every year for not doing oil changes. And then it costs about 18,500 USD. Only reason why it costs 18,500 USD right now is because of the tariff that is coming from China in the United States. So when they ship a car over from China to United States, they have to pay tariff on top of that. So the tariff increased the price of the model. Originally, they wanted to price it at $1,500, like $3,000 less. They wanted to charge $500 US for it, but because of the tariff, it's a little bit more expensive. But I still think it'll sell regardless. So if you live in California, and it all depends on your state, you get a $7,000 rebate off of that through tax incentives. So that would put that price down to $11,500 US. And then you gotta think about, like, let's say if you wanted to not, you know, pay for the full 11,000, you could do a finance deal, which a lot of people will. A lot of people will do a finance deal. So if we take 11,500 and we divide it by 12, and then we divide that by 5 years, you're looking at paying $191 per month. Maybe a little bit more, like 200 or 220, because there's always that little bit of interest tax because you are financing it versus paying it out front. So you're paying $191, or so more than $200 a month. How much money would you save on maintenance and gas alone? Like gas, in general, when I was driving, I spent between $150 to $200 on gas, and then I would also pay for oil changes, and then there was the odd time when my car broke down, and I would pay, you know, a couple $100 on maintenance, or a couple $1,000 on maintenance, depending on how bad it is. But every year goes by, my car, there's something wrong with it, and I would have to pay some money. With a SOLO, if you buy it brand new, for the first 5 years, you're probably not going to have any problems. So all you have to worry about is paying for the lease. You don't have to pay for gas. You don't have to pay for maintenance. So essentially, if you could drive this car for 5 years, if you could drive the SOLO car for 5 years and nothing, brand new, and nothing went wrong, it would pay for itself. It would pay for itself, and then 5 years later, you can probably put this on the used market between $5,000 to $10,000, and then you would basically essentially get a free car. A free car. So, you know, there you go. Free car right there. How do you go wrong with this? I mean, a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to buy this. It looks ugly. But okay, that's your choice. But, you know, I like it, and, you know, I plan to buy it. But let's say if you're in Canada, you would pay your tax incentive is a lot less. It's between $2,500 to $5,000. But you also have to look at them shipping it from China to Canada. The maintenance, the cost of it would be reduced dramatically because there is no tariffs between Canada. Well, there's very little tariffs between Canada and China. So when they ship a car from China to Canada directly and not through the United States, the tariff will go down. So maybe they'll be able to charge $20,000. So you're looking at about, $2,500, between $1,500 to $1,750 for the car. And then the same concept works, if you drive it for at least 5 years, and then you take that car after 5 years, you sell it to the used market, you essentially get a free car, maybe even possibly some money back, and, not only it's free, you actually make some money off of it, maybe a little bit. I don't know. You can't do that with a brand new car though. If you're paying $40,000 for a brand new car, it's really hard to flip it and make all your money back. But the SOLO is a lot easier because of its price range. But some people might still argue that nobody really wants to buy one of the SOLO cars. That's fine. And then there's another way to get for free. This is not financial advice and this is a gamble, but you could buy 1,000 shares and then you could gamble. You could gamble that by the time that they are selling these cars to the general public, the market or the rich people will push this stock to $20 and plus. And then you could sell your 1,000 shares. You can take that money and then you can go buy yourself a SOLO for free. Yay! Free SOLO off of Electrameccanica vehicle corp stock. And all you need to do is purchase 1,000 shares at $3.07 would be considered $3,000. But that's the risk you are willing to take. Will it do that? I have no idea. But if we look at Workhorse stock, this stock 1 year ago it was 57 cents, but if we look like even further back, this stock used in 2019, this stock used to be 50 cents. If you bought 50,000 shares at 50 cents, you would have been a millionaire. And how much would 50,000 shares cost at 50 cents? $25,000. So Workhorse went from 50 cents to $20, $21, and it possibly can go up higher. It went all the way down to $1.67. If you bought it at $1.60, you would have been pretty happy too. So could SOLO do the same thing? It could. Will it? I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not up to me to move the markets. If management can execute and show that, hey, we are selling cars, we are setting up good partnerships, then there's a possibility big money can come in, flood into this stock, and push it up to $20. Will that happen? I don't know. It's up to management to hype up big money. We don't have a Cam Batley. We don't have a Trevor Milton at Electrameccanica, the Trevor Milton pump. Oh yeah, we're gonna make awesome electric cars in the future. Buy our stock. We don't have one of those. SOLO doesn't have one of those. So Nikola Motors is worth how much? $12 billion. SOLO worth less than $200 million. Like I said, we don't have one of those. We don't have a Trevor Milton in this company to pump the stock up. So unfortunately, you gotta hope that management can execute. You gotta hope that in the future the SOLO cars will sell. And then you also gotta look about the SOLO Advantage program, which I think is pretty cool. So if you were a business, you can go to this SOLO Advantage program. You can ask them to actually put your like put to wrap your car how you want by putting a design in the template, and they'll ship you a wrapped car, so you don't have to go. It might cost you a little bit more money, but hey, you could get a wrapped car right away, and you don't have to go and purchase it or get another custom person to do it. You can just get your car shipped to you brand new, pre-wrapped. So yeah, that's, you know, so if you have a small business, this is a great way of advertisement. Great way of advertisement, because it's hard. Like, if you see a car like this on the road, you're like, you know, whatever. But if you see something like this, you're like, what is that? That looks weird. But then you would like look at DoubleTree, and you research up DoubleTree, you know, by Hilton. So obviously there's a really good way of advertisement using these small cars, because it's hard for people not to stare at the car. It's hard for people not to take pictures. I saw videos where people took test drives of this, and everyone that look at this car, they stare at it. They're like, what is that thing? That looks weird. You know, the people take pictures, and it's hard for people not to stare at something like this. It just looks too unique. So, and then as you can see below, like 7-Eleven, and then there's DHL, and then there's, I don't know what this is, HA, Easy Park, and DoubleTree, and, you know, so there's lots and lots and lots of businesses out there that could take advantage of the SOlO Advantage program, and this will add for more sales for cars in the future. So yeah, I do believe in the SOlO future. I do believe that SOlO has a future, and I believe that maybe, I'm not 100% sure, the stock could also go back to $1. Not 100% sure, but big money one day could push this stock to $20. I know that retail investors don't have that power, nor does retail investors have the ability to push stocks up. So it has to be big money. Will big money do that? I don't know. If big money sees a future in Electromeccanica, I think big money will. I mean, like, if they announce, let's say, like, a Tofini prototype. Wow, this is taking forever to load. Holy moly. So yes, Tofini, like, if they announce a prototype for the Tofini, I bet you SOlO stock would skyrocket. But I mean, they said they're working on the interior in 2019. Cars take a long, prototypes take a long time to make. So, you know, if they ever announce a prototype for this Tofini, I think the stock will skyrocket. A lot of people like this. They kind of, you know, a lot of people like sporty car looks, and if they announce something like this, I think the stock would skyrocket. A lot of people would buy in, because people are like, whoa, I like this car. I want this company to succeed. I'm gonna pump the stock. I mean, when I say that, I mean big money. Big money. I'm not talking about the small retail investor who buy like 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares. I'm talking the big money who buy millions of shares, millions and millions of shares, because they have lots of money. I mean, 1 million shares at $3 would be $3 million. I'm sure there's big money out there that could really push the stock to the upside if they wanted to, but they would have to have a reason. And I think if Electromeccanica ever shows off the Tofini, the prototype for the Tofini, I think the stock would skyrocket. But that's just my opinion. Let's look at some of the competitor cars, like the Kona Electric, $45,000. Yeah, it's a 4-seater, but the Electromeccanica is 20,000 Canadian, and in the future, when they bring down the cost of the battery, I think the Tofini, I think the SOlO could easily be sold for 15 to 20,000. I mean, between 10 to 15,000 Canadian in the future. Right now, it's probably closer to 20,000, while the Kona Electric is $45,000 brand new. I don't want to pay $45,000 brand new for this car. And then look, we look at the Nissan Leaf, $45,000 brand new. And then we look at the Tesla standard range for $53,000 brand new. So I mean, out of all three cars, I would probably take Tesla because of the branding. And I know Tesla builds high quality cars, and I know that the battery technology is better than the rest. And they already have self-building, self-driving technology, which you have to pay an additional $5,000-$6,000 or $7,000 for that. So that would bring the cost of the standard range model to around $60,000 Canadian. So that's quite a bit. That's like 3x more than the SOLO car. But electric cars are expensive. Like I'm looking at the competitors, like the Kona Electric and the SOLO Nissan Leaf. They're all like really expensive cars compared to the SOLO. They're twice the amount of money it would cost to buy a SOLO. So yeah, and then the value of these cars go down way faster than the SOLO cars. Tesla might hold its price a little higher, better because it's such a strong brand, but the Nissan Leaf, people don't care. 5 years later, this thing could be worth $10,000, right? Like it all depends on, if brand new cars are like that. Like 5 to 10 years later, they're worth so much less. But the the SOLO car will hold its value a little bit longer, in my opinion. But anyways, this is it for my video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.